Good evening, everyone. This video is going to be a trading review and support session for August the 10th, 2022. I'll go through the trades and kind of go through the setup for the day as well in terms of what was going on in the news. The CPI data came out this morning and it was quite positive, meaning that the consumer price index was actually zero and the core was just a little positive, but much better than what was forecast, meaning inflation was at least for this particular time period in control. So the market really liked that. So you can see, this is today. You can see the significance in the up day today. The vast majority of that up move happened literally in the first 2 minutes after the announcement. Let's take a look at the big picture chart. So here is the 5:30 kind of time frame when it was announced, and literally in the first couple of minutes it was extremely up. It did go up further, towards the end of the day as well. So in a couple of minutes, it's in the 41.90 area, and we closed in the 42.07-ish kind of area. We've gone up some more since then, so it did go up further, but they really liked the news. So we were going to wait to see what was going on. So let's go through the trades here as it's going through. It was up significantly, so I wasn't too surprised. Here's the open. That it sort of was moving down. I did wait a little bit to make sure they weren't going to bounce early. So it took a short here, and that trade worked. And then I took a short here, right? It's hard to see the arrow, and that trade worked. And then I took a short here as it's trying to break down through the 3-minute moving average, and that trade would have worked. Excuse me. As you can see, it came further down, but I manually closed this trade out when it's kind of bouncing a little bit. I manually closed it out for a loss, but if I just held on a little bit more, then it would have been fine. So I did that like twice today. So at least I'm still positive at that point. A little bit later, after it kind of pulls up but doesn't hang on very long, so I took another trade here. And that trade worked just fine, right? And then kind of pretty bounce up. I kind of waited a little bit long on this one, perhaps. I mean, it was going into the minute average, but it was, definitely bouncing above the EMA. Took the trade here and got out prior to the volume point of control. Took another trade here. It pulled back and it hit the trailing stop, and so it invoked the trailing stop, so it hit the 3-point move from here to here. Now if I didn't have a trailing stop, it would have worked. We talked about that a little bit. I'm thinking about it, evaluating it, but anyway, so right now I'm still using the trailing stop, and it hit it that time. And let's see, took a trade here, and that one worked. As you can see, starts to roll over, and after it cleared the fast zone, took a trade here, and for just 1 point, that one worked. Didn't really want to test it too much because the market was, by getting in earlier, even though it could have possibly, but going into the fast zone is sometimes a challenge. And then 7 o'clock happens, right? And I take a trade here when it's going up. That one worked, and so I'm up at this point and starting to think about protecting profits. Starts to come down here, and I take a trade here, and then I started talking, and in the process of talking, I wasn't looking at my trading screen, so I was looking back and talking about something, and really probably missed another trade here. Let's kind of move it over here. Even out here, even an entry here would have been pretty good. Even an entry, after a couple of down bars here would have been pretty good. I took a little speculative trade here that, on the down bar, and I just, because it wasn't moving down very quickly, I did just take 2 ticks, but even further on, it would have delivered just fine. Coming back up again, running away from the EMA. So take a short trade here, and it worked. So now I'm really kind of almost in profit protection mode, and so I don't trade for a while. And then when I did trade, it's because I got a little bit bored. I'm trying to find that trade. It was kind of up here, right? So I could have traded a little bit more aggressively, either through this move, right, and or earlier in this move. I kind of waited too long just to try to add on to some profits. And again, I manually closed, right, but it did not come back more than 3 points, and it would have worked, right, had I just stuck with the trade. So that's 2 of those, right, and a trailing stop close. So could have been up even more, but I'm still up. And then so I'm kind of protecting profits now, and I took a couple of late trades that I didn't necessarily announce because I wanted you guys to hang on your profit. Had a surprising pop up right after the 8 o'clock time change, and I went ahead and took a trade here, and that one worked. And I took one more that I didn't call as well. So this one I kind of got my profit back from that last manual stop out. And then let's see, where did I know I took another trade. I can't be trying to find the arrow. Oh, there it is. These white arrows are difficult to find. Maybe I try to find. I've tried different contrasts, but it kind of depends on where it's on the field. So I took a short trade here, got out, and that was it. I was up 12 points for the morning, and didn't trade again in the afternoon since I got my profits back and added to it early on. So I just left it at a 12-point day, which is perfectly fine. Like I said, I did trade some more yesterday and ended up with a 20-point day. So last couple of days this week have been just fine. So that was kind of it for the day. It'll be interesting. I mean, the market seems to be, responding nicely to the CPI data. We'll see how it's going to react for the rest of the week. And I'm continuing to massage a little bit by a new little indicator. I'll show it maybe sometime later this week, and or probably no later than the next week. See if I get the combination of things worked out that I am liking. All right, so that's going to be it. I don't think there's any questions. Any questions? Alrighty, so quick session tonight. So that's going to be it. So we will see you tomorrow morning in the trading room.